Hey everyone, you're listening to Party Time, My Golf Story with Kevin Walsh and whatever special guest he has today. You can check me out on episode 9 of the podcast. Today I'm wearing Grayson clothes while I'm out practicing because I believe in look good, play good. And follow me on Instagram, Sophia Warren Golf, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
It's Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers. And the golf real estate pros Gene Walsh and Vince Visicaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoastdreams.com. Now here's your host, Kevin Walsh.
Hey, welcome to the program. We got a good show for you. This is a follow-up, and we're kind of overdue for doing this, but the timing is perfect in a lot of ways. Sophia Warren, who was our second most watched podcast, is back with us with some life updates and some golf updates, some job updates, and some storm updates. And what I'm getting at with that is we are recording this on Tuesday, October 8th, and Hurricane Milton is supposed to hit within about 24 hours, right? So I really wanted to get this recorded. Sophia had the time, and so it's a good opportunity to catch up with her. For those that are living in the Southwest Florida area, especially around Sarasota and Tampa and everything, I hope you're safe. And with the recovery, by the time this is going to air, this is going to be post-storm. I hope it all works out for you. And we're keeping our fingers crossed, and we're praying for everybody right now. But so we're recording this before the storm, and hopefully things turn out all right. That's the best we can do right now. And sometimes have good entertainment is a way to take us away from not just the work and the storm preps that we have to do, but just to put a smile on our face and make us happier. And that's what Sophia Warren is going to do, because she is a sonic boom of energy, good personality, and has got a lot of cool stuff to talk about as she chases her dream to make it to the LPGA Tour. Got some work to do there. Everybody does. But we love hearing the stories and the aspirations of bigger and better things. Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you like and subscribe to the show? Our subscriptions are over 3,000, but it's still helpful to do that. If you haven't done that, please do that, and also leave a comment. It could be about this interview with Sophia or somebody else, but please do that because it makes a big difference with the analytics, ultimately sponsors, and the nerds that chart this stuff at YouTube, Google, and all the way on down the list. All right, would you do that? Greatly appreciate it. Big thanks to our title sponsor, Party Drinks. If you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course to hard seltzers, beer, or something else that you're cooking up on the back of the golf cart, try a Party, especially Transfusion. Far and away our number one seller for golfers by golfers. And if your dream is to live in golf paradise, Southwest Florida, the Sarasota area, nobody better than the golf real estate pros of Vince Visicaro and Gene Walsh from SuncoastDreams.com, a division of Fine Properties. Check them out, and they can help you out to put you in the house, condominium, or whatever it is that where you want to live. There she is, Sophia Warren. Man, I am... Thanks for sticking through that long preamble that I had to go through.
No,
there.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, well, where are you exactly, and what's going on in life right now? Because I time-stamped it at the beginning. Where do you live, and how are you going to ride out the storm? What did you do to get ready? Walk me through it.
Yeah, so I'm currently living with my parents and my brother and my big yellow dog, Hugo. And we are hunkered down here. We're in Lakewood Ranch, Florida. And there has actually never been a hurricane in the last 100 or so years, like since they started tracking this stuff, that's hit directly on Sarasota. And looks like Milton's going to change that. So it looks dark in here because I've got my storm shutters already put up and everything. And we've got food and water and we're charging all our phones. So we're just kind of hunkering down and getting ready to ride out the storm. But I'm a big storm person. Like the thunder, the wind doesn't bother me. I just hope the golf courses aren't underwater and that everyone's okay afterwards. Like obviously safety is important, but a little bit little bit of storms here and there is kind of fun.
Well, how does a dog do with that? Hugo, first of all, that's a great name. Yellow dog.
Hugo.
What is it? A yellow lab?
Yellow lab. Yep. He's a big boy. He's my big baby. He weighs like, I think 105 right now. He's almost as big as me. Yeah. But he's okay with storms because he grew up in Florida. So, he's kind of used to the thunder and everything. He's been kind of on edge the last few days because all of our neighbors are putting up the hurricane shutters. So there's activity and drills going on. So he's a little bit freaked out, but hopefully having everybody here during the storm will help with that.
Yeah, he knows something's up. Dogs know.
Yeah.
and the animals, even before, they pick up on the human behavior, but the animals in the wild, especially fishing, the best time to fish is before a storm, as the pressure drops. And the fish know that because they're like the true meteorologists. Their bladders. So I'm giving a fishing lesson as we're talking about golf here, but they know when the weather's coming, and then they eat voraciously, which makes for good fishing. And I think dogs kind of know that. Yeah, but dogs are so intuitive. I mean, they pick up on feelings and everything. I mean, is your dog good with you if you're having a tough day, or is he sort of your therapist?
Hugo is so funny. If I'm home and I'm sitting down in the living room talking to my parents, like venting about golf, if I'm stressed about something, Hugo can sense stress so easily, but he doesn't comfort, he runs. Like he'll just very slowly like slink his way up the stairs and hope no one notices that he's leaving, but he is not one for stress at all. He likes to remove himself from any sort of toxic situation. So we're more the ones calming him down than him calming us down.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, let's get into the golf. Sophia Warren is our guest here. She is a professional golfer. She's chasing it, we like to say, on the Annika All Women's Pro Tour. You had an interesting year the past year. Why don't you walk me through it? Just how it started, how it finished, and just what you think was good about it, and maybe what needs a little work.
Yeah, so it honestly was a more consistent year all around. It obviously wasn't the breakout superstar year that I was hoping for, but overall everything was more consistent. I made more cuts, made some more money than I did the year before. So that was good to see. And I just felt overall more relaxed and more at home. I have a good friend group out on tour now that we travel together and stay together, do practice rounds together. And that's huge to have that tight-knit community. And honestly, the WAP tour is just so tight-knit as it is. It's a family-run tour, and they treat you like family as soon as you're out there. So they're great to play on. And I went to LPGAQ school, stage 1. I did not make it out of stage 1 this year, unfortunately. It was just, honestly, there's no way to sugarcoat it. It just wasn't good. I had a bad first round, and it just kind of set me behind the 8 ball. And I wasn't able to advance out of there, but I definitely learned a lot in terms of the mental game, because it was not my physical game that deterred me as much as my mental game. I was definitely a bit too outcome focused and not process focused. And I felt like I had to make it this year. I had to make every putt, hit every fairway, that there was no room for error. So while that was a really hard thing to go through, it's definitely taught me a lot about myself and how I place my identity too much in golf overall.
Oh, that is so true. I had that same problem when I competed, because when I was playing good, I felt good about life. I felt good about myself. When I played badly, I almost felt like I was a bad person. And
yeah, it's so easy because it is our job. And it's something I do the most. So it's easy to say, like, I'm Sophia, I'm a golfer. But I'm Sophia who plays golf. And that's a huge difference than tying up your whole identity into what you do and how well you do it.
That's very mature. And that is the attitude that you need to have, the proper perspective. And it probably helps if you have people around you that can give you that perspective and give you a nice distraction away from golf. I think the first time that you were a guest on Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks and also the Golf Real Estate Pros, Vince Visicaro and Gene Walsh. You made yourself vulnerable, and I really appreciated that, because people love the honesty. They want to know the hard times as well as the good times, because we all go through the hard times. And at the time you talked about ending your relationship and kind of getting back to focus on yourself, but you're now in a new relationship. And so why don't you tell me about the guy and how that's been helpful to you, not just personally, but professionally?
Yeah, for sure. So I am dating a new guy. His name is Beck Burnett. He plays on the PGA Americas Tour. He actually just played his first PGA Tour event at the Sanderson Farms this past week. He Monday qualified in, and that was really cool to get to cheer him on, even though he was up in Mississippi and I was still down in Florida. I was like refreshing the scores, like crazy person. But it's nice that he's a professional golfer as well. So he understands like the day-to-day grind and the practice. And when I'm able to tell him about my day, he understands, the terms and everything. But I mean, it's also great that he's just a genuinely awesome person. And golf is like a great thing that we have in common, but that's honestly not what we talk about the most. We kind of talk about everything under the sun. So it's nice to be able to come off the course. And if I want to talk about it, I can talk about it because he gets it. But if I don't want to talk about it, he also gets it. And he's been great in helping me get over the putting my identity in golf as well, because he understands like how easy it is to get caught up in everything, especially like when it's all you do or what you do for the most part. And it's been great to practice and play with him, and yeah, he's just awesome. Been a very positive development this year for sure.
Yeah, definitely. He's a handsome devil too. I imagine that maybe has something to do with it too.
It doesn't
hurt. Good for you. How'd you guys meet? I love a love story. So if you don't mind, let me know. I know there's a backstory.
So we met through a mutual friend that she had gone to the same college that I did, and she transferred schools and ultimately became an assistant coach at the school that Beck played for and became good friends with him. So we were both friends with her for years. We just kind of had like this parallel existence. And then over the summer, her brother went on to caddy for Beck on tour, and she had posted something about him on her story, and I responded to it, and I was like, your friend is so cute, like, oh my gosh. And she told him, and he messaged me, and I didn't really think anything of it at the time. I was traveling all summer, he was traveling all summer, so we were like, we both kind of went into it with we're just chit-chatting mentality, and it slowly grew to being really good friends, and then now we're more than friends.
That's fantastic. And that's really the best way to find a significant other is through your friends, because they're not going to set you up with bums. I mean, I take a ton of credit.
He came pre-approved.
There you go. Because if your friend puts her stamp of approval on it, then you're good, because she's not, and that's what true friends are for. And sometimes they got to save us from some other people that may be interesting, but best to stay away. So good luck with that. That's cool. I remember you talking about your mom and how you travel with your mom and your mom caddy for you. Is mom still helping you out, or have we done any changes in the caddy department?
So mom is still my main caddy, but it's funny you say that. She actually underwent brain surgery this summer, and she's totally fine. It was non-life threatening. Without like going into too many details, she just had like a cyst basically that had to be removed. It was messing with her vision because it was pressing on a nerve in the brain, and she had this double vision for a long time, and it all occurred really suddenly and right before she was supposed to go on the road with me for a couple weeks. So she underwent surgery. Surgery went awesome, and she's back recovering. She's back at the gym. So everything turned out like as great as it could for her. Like, we're super blessed with that. Yes. But there were a few more tournaments of me just going by myself, which I'm so lucky. Like with the WAP tour, we're able to stay with either host families or with a group of friends. So I split some Airbnbs and hotels with friends, and it was fun to just have girls trips as well. But of course I miss my mom. She was able to get healthy enough in time to come to Q school with me, which was huge.
Did not know about your mom. That totally caught me off guard, but I'm glad she's well. And I imagine there were some concerns, especially when she was having trouble with her vision. And but as long as we're all good, it was a benign cyst. Then holy smokes, yeah.
We're so lucky. It definitely could have been way worse than it was. It was honestly, I mean, as double vision goes, a best case scenario fix for it. So it's been great that my dad's been her little caretaker, and Hugo's been by her side ever since. We've called him Healing Hugo because he doesn't like stress, but he could sense if someone's like sick or hurt. So he's been by her side helping her, and she's kicking butt. She's at the gym every day. She's, she works remote, so she's just been doing work as usual on her laptop. So life is slowly but surely returning to normal.
That's good. But it sounds like it's a team effort to get her back. You, your dad, your brother, and Hugo. And good on Hugo. You said he doesn't like stuff, but he's stepping up his game at a time.
Yeah.
They need it most. Hey, tell me something. So you mentioned staying with host families. When we have the Corn Ferry Tour event at Lakewood National, we actually had quite a few people stay in the neighborhood, and they had really good success. Like, for example, Barb and Howard Wingert, they hosted Noah Goodwin, who got his PGA Tour card right on the number 30.
I saw that they posted that he was number 30. I did a little story on him on Instagram. Like,
well, wasn't that
such a relief?
Oh, my, well, couldn't you see it in his mannerisms and his body language and embracing with his girlfriend and his father at the end? And that's what I love so much about it all, was that was so real. That was so honest.
I love when the tours post behind the scenes stuff like that, because I love like being able to kind of root for the players more so once you know their story. Like, I don't know Noah's life story, but I was happy for him when I saw the post, because it looked like, his life just changed, and I'm chasing the same dream. And I can't imagine like how much like relief and just euphoria you must feel in that moment.
Yes, because you're vicariously living through that, and you're envisioning, hopefully that's going to be me. Am I going to react in such a way? And you know what? The Corn Ferry Tour does the behind the scenes stuff better than the PGA Tour does. It's not even close.
I would say that the PGA Tour, they focus a lot on like Scotty and Xander, which, like, rightfully so. They're the best players in the world. But Scotty's story, I don't think, at least for me personally, and this could just be because I'm a golfer, and I'm just around golf all the time, and like people trying to break into the big tours. But the more compelling stories to me are the Noahs that are making it on the number, or Kevin Roy, who's actually a member at Lakewood National. He got his tour card as well.
He's been a guest 2 times. All right, so you're now a 2-timer. Maybe a 3-timer, and when you break through and you get your card, we're gonna bring you back and see how it's going. But I think what you're expressing is really the whole genesis of why we created this podcast. It's like we did the antithesis of like the Scotty and his historic run, and let's recap the Sanderson's Farm event. It's like, no, we're more interested in the personal stories, in the personality, the results. You can find that on PGAtour.com or on CBS or whatever. It's like, it's the story behind the story that's more compelling. Hey, can I ask one more question about Beck? You said you're similar off the golf course. I know you love music. I know you're a devout Swiftie.
Of course.
Is he a Swiftie too?
He is, yes. I told him, I think like one of the first days that we were talking, I was like, look, if you don't like Taylor Swift, like, you might as well just like never, like, there's no point in continuing this, because if you're going to hate on Taylor, you're basically hating on me. But no, he knows. He's actually surprised me with his Taylor knowledge. I'm very pleasantly surprised. And we have very similar music tastes, like very, I don't want to say off the grid, but some smaller bands that most people haven't heard of, that have a smaller following. I'll be like, oh yeah, like my brother loves this band, or I love this band. He'll be like, no way, I do too. And I'm like, you're lying, but he's telling the truth. We're just
the indie scene. Similar. Well, you would know it right away, because he's either singing along to it, or if he knows who the band members are, then he's taking the deep dive on stuff. Mm-hmm. This is cool. So tell me about what's next for you. You've moved on from Lakewood National Golf Club, and I miss seeing you in the pro shop, and I know I'm not alone. People missed you because you brought such a nice smile and a cheer to the place. And then I look out the backyard and see you zipping like 50 miles an hour in a golf cart, playing golf a million miles an hour, because you were trying to squeeze it in around your work schedule. Where have you landed, and how is this next step maybe going to help you to achieve your dream?
Yeah, so now I've loved my time at Lakewood National. It was my first home base out of college and first job out of college that was supporting the pro career, and everyone was great. It was an awesome experience. And through that, I actually got to meet a bunch of people who got me connected to Lakewood Ranch Country Club, which is where I am now. And I'm there in the pro shop behind the counter about 3 days a week, but that's just right now in the off season. I'll be traveling like all spring and summer, and they're very okay with my tournament schedule. They're great with scheduling in advance, so I can plan more things like more lessons and stuff around them. And yeah, so I'm over there. They have 4 courses and 3 practice facilities, and they're very chill with my use of it. It's so great over there. I can't describe to you like how pure the courses are, and how there are fewer members out there as well. So it's a lot less crowded, more time to myself. When I can practice, I can kind of grind a little bit more and not feel like I'm stepping on anyone's toes. So Lakewood National has been great. And I hope I'll be back soon because my brother still works over there. So hopefully he'll have me out as his guest to play maybe when the season calms down. But yeah, it's nice to be over at the country club as well. They've welcomed me with open arms.
Okay, that's great, and just keep building that game. And that's nice that they give you that opportunity because they see the power of dreams. And ultimately, the better you do, it makes them look good, and everybody wants to help give somebody a little push along the way. So how's next season shaping up? Are you starting to plan things? What's ahead? Fill us in.
So right now, let's see, it's mid-October. I have until mid-November before my next event. I'll be playing a couple events on the next Women's Pro Tour. That's NXXT. And they're a Florida-based mini tours, and they run through the winter. So I'll be an event or two in November, December, all the way until April. The first 2 weeks of April, I'll be in Louisiana for the start of the WAPT 2025 season. And it's basically because I didn't get through stage 1. I'm just back doing the same thing again this next year. But if you're doing what you love, it's not the worst thing in the world to have another year out there of traveling and playing golf with my friends. So yeah, I'm excited for where it's going to take me. I feel like I learned a lot in this past year with the successes and being closer to success and not quite getting there, learning what exactly I need to work on to get me to that next level, because I feel it's super close. So I'm just using this time right now to really hone in on everything I felt like I needed to work on throughout the season, but maybe didn't have the time to because I was always in grind mode and practice round mode. Now I have time to really just dig in and get ready for next season.
Sounds cool. Sophia Warren, professional golfer. She works at Lakewood Ranch Country Club, plays a couple different tours, is our guest here on Party Time, My Golf Story. Brought to you by Party Drinks. If you're looking for a drink alternative on the golf course, if you're tired of beer, if you're tired of hard seltzers or whatever it is you're indulging in, try a Party and a Transfusion. Far and away our number one seller. And if your dream is to live in golf paradise, especially at Lakewood National Golf Club or the greater Sarasota area, check out the Golf Real Estate Pros. Vince Fizicaro and Gene Walsh, suncoastdreams.com, a division of Fine Properties. Sophia, we're winding down here right now. Why don't you tell me where your golf game is right now, how you playing? You taking anybody's money? You feeling good about things? Let's hear it.
I'm always trying to take money. I took my brother's money on the course the other day. But my swing feels really good right now. I feel like I'm in a good place. I've got some good feels. I've been working hard on making a couple little minute tweaks that might not seem like big deals, but will give me a lot more consistency in the long run. And honestly, working on my short game more than anything. I played a couple tournaments this past year where maybe my ball striking wasn't where I wanted to be, but I was able to scramble and still make the cut because of my short game, and bringing home a check is always a good thing. So just working on the short game more than anything always, and just trying to make more birdies. But overall game feels really solid. I'm going to probably just do some putting in my room the next couple days with the hurricane coming up, but I'll make some mirror swings and make sure I got that muscle memory still in there. The game feels sharp. I'm ready to get me out on a tournament stage right now. I'm ready to go.
All right. But first things first, be safe in the storm. All right. So I wish you all the best.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on here.
Yeah, definitely. Let's keep in touch. Best to everybody, Hugo, mom, dad, your brother, and back, even though I made fun of him for being a Swiftie. Hey, if sometimes you got to play along.
There's no shame in being a Swiftie.
Okay. I got you. All right, Sophia, all the best to you, and do good things. And you want to give a shout out to any of your sponsors?
Oh yeah. Shout out Grayson Clothiers. They're my clothing sponsor. They are the best golf clothes I've ever worn. The skirts are so cute and comfy, and they have pockets that fit yardage books, which are so hard to find with women's golf. I've actually got one of their sweaters on right now, but you can't really see.
Yeah, let's see.
It's more their athleisure line. And then obviously Titleist for all their support with all the golf balls I could need and gloves and hats and all that good stuff. Super appreciative for everything I get.
Yeah. And I appreciate you doing like kind of the intro into the show, because once we did that, where you're in the golf cart and you're talking about your previewing guests and everything, it makes a difference, right? I mean, we know what we were doing. It was an opportunity for you to promote Grayson as well. So good stuff to you. Okay. And be safe in this storm. Okay.
Yeah,
Sophia Warren has been our guest here on Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks and the golf real estate pros of Vince Vizicaro and Gene Walsh from SuncoastDreams.com. For Sophia Warren, I'm Kevin Walsh. We'll see you again next time on Party Time, My Golf Story.
You've been listening to It's Party Time, My Golf Story, brought to you by Party Drinks. Classically designed golf drinks for golfers by golfers, and the golf real estate pros Gene Walsh and Vince Vizicaro. For your Southwest Florida real estate needs, check them out at suncoastdreams.com or call 941-220-4000.
This is Vince Vizicaro and Gene Walsh with the SuncoastDreams.com real estate team at Fine Properties. We've helped hundreds of families find their dream homes in golf and resort communities in Lakewood Ranch, Bradenton, Sarasota, Parrish, Venice, and the surrounding areas.
Let us be your guides to finding your dream home here as well. Learn more at suncoastdreams.com or call us at 941-220-4000.